So, you want to captain the Izmail. Well, do you like fighting close? Do you like armor? And do you like your shots being guided by the hand of Stalin? Well, the Izmail is the ship for you. The history of the Izmail does not really exist because this ship was never actually truly launched out. She had a lot of issues during construction. She was starting to be built in 1912 to get ready for World War I, but this magical thing called the Russian Revolution kind of also interrupted things. But she was almost created into a carrier in 1925, but that eventually just got scrapped due to resources. But other than that, this is just a made up ship, so there's not really much history on this. So, yay! In game, though, she has 4 turrets of 365mm guns, three barrels in each of the turrets, which makes her very, very deadly. The only problem with these guns are that they take about 33 seconds to reload. Other than that, this ship guns are also very trolly at very distance, at your long range of the 17.1 kilometers. You typically want to be firing your guns at about 11 kilometers or less, just because then your dispersion is not like crazy. Basically, what I'm saying is you can't sit in the back of the map and fire. You won't hit a dang thing with these guns just because of these awful dispersion at maximum range. So you want to get close. But the problem with getting close, though, is that you have like a reload time of 33 seconds. So make sure to keep your ships that you're firing against at least 5 kilometers away, but you don't want them to go further than 10. That's kind of like the maximum barrier. So you want to keep your ships that you're firing at between 10 and 5 kilometers. The broadside of this ship is very impactful. You can literally destroy a Omaha in one shot, and it's glorious. Trust me, I've done it before. But the only problem with presenting broadside is, yes, you do have 100 millimeters of armor on your broadsides, but the problem with that, though, is your citadel is on top of the water. So you are most likely going to get citadeled if you present too much of a broadside. So keep that in mind whenever you are going broadside against another ship. Overall, this ship is amazing to angle against. A lot of ships cannot do anything against you. The only problem, though, is if you're fighting at a distance and the ship that you're fighting against can drop shots into your deck, that's going to be causing an issue because your deck armor is very weak. It's about 10 to 5 millimeters, just depending on where you're at. And it's not the best thing ever. But as soon as you close into that distance, you're going to be using your 25mm bow armor and your 100mm side armor, which will help you out immensely whenever you're taking on a ship up close. The ship has very good AA defense. It could be better, but for a battleship at this rank, it's pretty good, not going to lie. Or not rank, mostly tier. So that's pretty good, but the only thing that sucks is your secondaries. Your secondaries are god-awful. So you're not going to be relying on them like at all. So don't even think that they exist. And plus, if they do start firing, they won't be very accurate as well. They just have like pretty much the same dispersion, almost like your guns at maximum range, I feel like, in my opinion, but everything's different according to the stats. Also, this ship has a really good speed. It can go up to about 26 knots, give or take. The only problem, though, is the ship is going to have an awful turning circle, and whenever it does do a turning circle, it loses pretty much all of its speed. And that's purely because the ship is more longer than wider. So that's kind of like the main reason, but also the engine isn't as powerful as like another battleship. So like if you put a New Mexico class engine into this one, it'd be a lot faster and be able to turn more. But it's just because of the engine power is pretty much the reason why it cannot sustain its speed in a turn. Overall gameplay of this, you want to make sure that you get in close. This is a brawler. This ship is amazing at brawling, and you will be rewarded as soon as you get close to people. Now, granted, you have to watch out for those destroyers and their torpedoes, so you can make those dodges and you can turn and everything like that, but you just don't want to lose too much speed, especially against a destroyer. Because if they know where you're going to get most likely torpedoed, and if you're slowed down too much, you won't be able to speed up to go past those torpedoes. So make sure that you're with somebody that you has like hydro or radar or something along those lines, or even if an aircraft carrier can support you, that will help you out in the long run. But for the most part, you can technically take on the team all by yourself. Just don't give your broadside to anybody so they won't citadel the crap out of you. If you do that, then you're pretty much golden, as long as you're battle tanking and able to avoid any torpedoes. With that being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed this short video. I've been truly enjoying the Izmail. I managed to get like back-to-back cracking games with her, just purely because of how powerful her guns can be, and how other players like to present a lot of broadsides to you, which is amazing. But you won't be able to get that as much at higher tiers, but this is just a really fun ship at this tier, at tier 6, and it's just basically, the guns are a little trolly, you just gotta trust in Stalin, the armor is pretty good, and overall, speed-wise is great. The overall technical classification of this ship should be a battle cruiser, but it's a battleship. It is what it is. Wargaming, you do you. Hopefully you guys enjoy this. Make sure to stay subscribed and like the video if you enjoyed it. And if you do stay subscribed to me, that means you know whenever my next video comes out. Also, leave a comment down below and letting me know what ship you want to see next. Other than that, thanks for watching and have a wonderful day. Thanks. Bye-bye.